Welcome back to Bazooka Kickboxing and MMA. Today's episode, powered by Hayabusa, is all about 5 different strategies to how to beat a shorter fighter. All right, welcome back to today's episode. Today we're talking about how to beat a shorter fighter. A lot of times all these videos that come out is how to beat someone taller. But let's talk about the strategies and the 5 best ones you can use if you're gonna fight someone who's shorter than you. Okay, so one of the biggest frustrations you're ever gonna see from me as a coach is if you're a taller fighter and you don't use your range, that length. You were gifted, you're coming into the fight a lot of times in people's mind with an advantage. So I will disagree because I'm a pressure fighter and I like to fight, taller guys, but not everybody's Bazooka Joe, so you're gonna have to fight different strategies as the taller guy to keep the pressure fighter away. So the obvious one we're gonna get into as our first one. Long-range weapons, okay? Very obvious, right? So what is a long-range weapon? Front kicks, right? The longest of all of them is gonna be a front kick. You have, round kicks, straight punches. Now, the ideal thing is you have to think about what is the shorter fighter gonna try to do, right? The shorter fighter is gonna try to come inside. They have to get inside of that reach. Right? So by using straight long attacks, okay, that's the key, straight long attacks, it's going to be very difficult for that shorter fighter to come in on a straight line. So that's why front kicks are nice, jabbing, because you're keeping them at the end of your punch, which makes them harder to get in and try to get the shots on you. Okay, so that's the first thing you have to do, use long-range weapons. The second thing you have to do is make sure you manage the distance. The idea of the shorter fighter is to break your distance. They're shorter, so they gotta come inside, right? Or to get you to come forward so they can attack you. So by you being the taller fighter and understanding the range, you have to manage it. So by managing it, you have to be in 2 positions, either on the outside where you're keeping your opponent at the end of your strikes, okay? Or 2, you're gonna come inside as they pressure you, you engage in the clinch. Now, the clinch is a beautiful weapon as a taller guy when we talk about Muay Thai, when we talk about mixed martial arts. Why is it nice? Because the taller guy has elbows. So you wanna manage range, and if you can drop those elbows in that range, very good. You're taller, so a shorter guy to knee you is very difficult. The shorter guy to try to elbow you, very difficult. So you have the advantages of knees and elbows in the clinch as well. So managing the distance, stay long or stay inside. Now, which other strike? We talked about long range strikes, but the third thing you have to start realizing is, again, I have to punish that shorter fighter for wanting to close that distance. So what am I gonna punish them with? Boom, nice knee up the middle, right? And now, a lot of fighters, if they're shorter pressure fighters, a lot of times they come in with a nice high guard style, right? A lot of times this would be a more dynamic style, whether they come pressured or here, as soon as they step in, right? They lower, I want that knee to come up the middle, whether it's a switch knee up the middle or anything like that, it's gonna keep them away. Now, once you even establish the knee, okay, this is where feinting with the knee becomes important too. So if I see the pressure fighter keeping them with long range and I feint a right knee, right? Now they know that strike's coming, so it might make them hesitate, which keeps them outside. So using feints, knees, all gonna help you very well. Now, the fourth thing, right? We keep talking about that pressure, the movement of the shorter fighter. If the shorter fighter wants to stay outside and you could pick them apart, take your win, easy. But if they're a real fighter and they want to win, somehow you got Gokhan Saki in front of you, you got Robin van Roosmalen in front of you, you got Marat Grigorian in front of you. What do? You can't just sit there and allow them to do these things, okay? So you have to be able to create angles. Now, the shorter pressure fighter, where does he want to put you? Against the ropes, right? Or in the corners, or against the cage if you're a mixed martial artist, whatever it is. So that's where they want you. So the idea is, as a taller fighter, to use little angles, okay? The idea of turning your opponent. So when your opponent's pressuring you, by just turning and just little simple angles while they're coming in, it's gonna make it difficult for them. Now, when you're doing this type of occupying space, jabbing on an angle, turning them, right? It's very, very important, right, that you're keeping the jab and the straight punches going. Because it's keeping punches in their face. As soon as they come in, you pop. Now, to land a jab more successfully, you have to jab on an angle, right? So you're moving on an angle versus that forward pressure is going to be your best friend, right? Keep them long. It's going to get frustrating. Then all of a sudden, the fighter's going to have to move their head. As they move their head, you can mix the knees, mix the kicks, long range, play the game. But staying off the ropes, using angles is very important. Now, let's be real. The shorter fighter tends to a lot of time be power punchers, a little bit stockier, maybe stronger because shorter, more muscle mass, right? So they have that advantage. So how do you take away that advantage? Now, if the pressure fighter is very good and they get inside and you can't, use the clinch, the elbows, that's where you want to be. But the last point, number 5, is hand fighting and hand control. So if the pressure fighter gets inside, I want to be able to control their hands really well. So as soon as they come in, I can hand fight to elbows. But if I control their hands, they can't really hit me. Now, even with the hand control, if they throw, I can catch up here, throw knees more efficiently. But I need to control the shorter fighter's hands. If I just let them stay nice and tight inside, what's going to happen is big bombing overhands, body shots, overhands. The shorter fighter wants to hit your body, they want to kick your legs, right? So by hand fighting them, clinching them, not allowing them to punch you, I can hand frame an angle during their pressure. If the pressure fighter's coming at me like this, I'm going to hand pin an angle, stay long, use my jab, hand pin versus their forward pressure. I'm going to play the matador, right? They're coming at me, trying to close that distance very well. All right, so 5 strategies, okay? Can it get into more detail? Of course it can, but these I think are the most important for you to understand. Yes, the obvious long weapons, long range, but how do you use them with the angles, the hand fighting, the clinch, the knees? Putting it all together is the main point in strategies. You got to remember, what is the shorter fighter trying to do, right? They need to, 1, get inside to land successfully. 2, they're going to try to hit low kicks, so managing distance, very important, either in or all out. Keep them away with long range, right? If they try to kick you, you're long, it's okay. Boom, use your jab. Your legs, their leg and your arm is probably the same length if you're the taller fighter. Okay? So they want to come in and punch your body, but you're using hand control, you got knees, you got punches to the face. It's all there for you to be able to keep that shorter pressure fighter away. So keep liking, subscribing, and sharing Bazooka Kickboxing and MMA with everyone. Make sure you support the channel sponsors, Hayabusa Fight, as well as Perfect Sports Nutrition, all linked down below to make it easy for you. And we have, last but not least, bazookatraining.com. 4 videos a week. Every Monday, I give you 4 videos. Home workouts, bag workouts, tutorials, and sparring drills, all for you to get better, right? That's 4 videos a week. On YouTube, I give you the little introduction. But if you want how to put it in a class, how to structure it, how to learn it in full detail, that's bazookatraining.com. And if you like any of the Bazooka merch, bazookashop.com. All right, we'll see you next time here at Bazooka Kickboxing and MMA. Welcome to Bazooka Kickboxing and MMA online training. I'm Bazooka Joe Valtellini, the owner here at Bazooka Kickboxing and MMA. Over the past year, I've designed and created a website to teach Bazooka curriculum at home and across the world. The purpose of this website is for you to, 1, hit your fitness and health goals, all while learning world-class martial arts instruction from me. The beautiful thing about this website, it's geared for all levels. So if you're learning martial arts for the first time as a beginner, we help you progress into the bigger stages. And if you're a pro fighter, guess what? We have different fight concepts for you to improve your tool set and your skills in the ring or cage. As the fastest rising kickboxing world champion and a lifelong martial artist with over 30 years of experience, I've been able to combine my passion for martial arts and teaching to create this website. This website's going to give you some of the tricks, secrets, and inside look at some of the training I use to win my world title. Once you subscribe to this site, you're going to be getting weekly training videos and tutorials that you can do from anywhere. The sections are broken up into 3 parts. The first is bag workout. So if you have a bag at home or at your gym, you can use these workouts to supplement your training. The second is at-home workouts. A lot of us don't have the room for a bag or a bag in general, so these workouts are for no equipment needed and you can do them anywhere. And finally, the tutorial section. If you're having any problems with a specific technique or fight concept that's covered in any of the workouts, go to the tutorial section, learn the technique, and then go back to the workout, and this time, do it with proper technique. One of the added benefits once you subscribe is the forums section, where you can get a more personalized experience where you can ask questions and I'll be able to go in there and answer them. It's all about building a team and a community of martial artists helping each other grow. So subscribe now to get access to all the videos plus more so you can be part of the squad here at Bazooka Kickboxing and MMA.